Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today on this Sunday? Today is September 15th, 2024. I want to say hello. Hope everybody's blessed. Hope everybody's having a good day today. How did you guys feel about that debate with Vice President Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? So I'm going to play some of the highlights. I'm not going to get too much into that, but I'm going to play some stuff of what.
Starts right now. This is an ABC News special. The most consequential moment of this campaign. Kamala Harris.
Together, we will chart a new way forward.
Donald Trump.
We will soon be a great nation again.
Face to face. Historic. The ABC
Hold on, I'm
News
gonna
presidential debate.
just click this out for a quick second. And I'm going to put the volume up.
Good evening, I'm David Muir, and thank you for joining us for tonight's ABC News presidential debate. We want to welcome viewers watching on ABC and around the world tonight. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump are just moments away from taking the stage in this unprecedented race for president.
And I'm Lindsay Davis. Tonight's meeting could be the most consequential event of their campaigns, with Election Day now less than 2 months away. For Vice President Kamala Harris, this is her first debate since President Biden withdrew from the race on July 21st. Of course, that decision followed his debate against President Donald Trump in June. Since then, this race has taken on an entirely new dynamic.
And that brings us to the rules of tonight's debate. 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns. The candidates will have 2 minutes to answer questions, and this is the clock. That's what they'll be seeing. 2 minutes for rebuttals and 1 minute for follow-ups, clarifications, or responses. Their microphones will only be turned on when it's their turn to speak. No pre-written notes allowed. There is no audience here tonight in this hall at the National Constitution Center. This is an intimate setting for 2 candidates who have never met.
President Trump won the coin toss. He chose to deliver the final closing statement of the evening. Vice President Harris selected the podium to the right.
So let's now welcome the candidates to the stage. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Welcome to you both. It's wonderful to have you. It's an honor to have you both here tonight.
Good evening. We are looking forward to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
So let's get started. I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their number one issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight often asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing, and the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because it was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places they've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon. And you see what's happening. You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that Xi and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again and even better.
We are going to get to immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well, I would love to. Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century.
That's a lie right there. It's Kamala Harris. That's a lie. So again, Donald Trump didn't leave us, in the worst economy. But again, I'm going to say this. Both of them are liars. Both of them. I say this. Kamala Harris has more information. She speaks well. Donald Trump doesn't. He keeps putting his foot in his mouth all the time. I don't understand why he just don't shut the fuck up sometimes and just, if you really love this country, you focus on this country. You focus on whatever issues that's going on completely. Okay, because let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? You guys in the top will never relate to us in the bottom because, again, we will never have your type of money. We will never have your type of access. So at the end of the day, people could say whatever they want. They can have their opinions, about what I have to say or what others have to say. But it's like we're not going to the top like these people. They just make shit up. Trump likes to make stuff up. I saw this debate on the internet. And again, I'm not going to play too long of it, but I'm just going to say this is the shit that goes on in this country. The lies, the debates, the craziness. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. So let me just play a little bit more of it.
Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name-calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounced back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
That's just a soundbite. They gave her that to say.
I agree with that to a certain degree, but both of them are liars at the end of the day. And that's why I'm not going to vote. And people could say, oh, you should vote anyway, regardless. You know what? Here's what I'm going to say. You have to use your mind and think about your opportunities in this life for yourself. And at the end of the day, you have the choice of doing right or wrong for yourself. You have the choices to make sure that you're in a good position. You can't rely on these people. These people, yeah, they might have programs out there in the United States for certain things to help people with the homes. But here's a question I would have to ask Ms. Kamala Harris. If you, let's say, help these families out, let's say with housing and all this other stuff, isn't that going to raise the price of the deficit in this country anyway? Because you know what I'm saying? Because again, both of them are going to raise the deficits, and guess who's going to pay for it? We are, as American people. So I don't care what anybody has to say. You don't have to like my opinion. You could say fuck you to me. I don't care. Okay, but it's like we as a nation, you know what I'm saying, are in trouble. Because if we have these type of people that are in office telling you what they think is going to happen or supposedly what will happen when we know it won't happen. And that's why I say for all of us as Americans in this country, we got to wake up and we got to help each other. That's the bottom line, because at the end of the day, no one's going to help you and I. Okay. If we don't take the time to do right for ourselves, who's going to do it for us? Nobody. So if we don't do right, who else is going to? So, like I said, at the end of the day, I watched this debate. I'm not going to be so long, but I just wanted to just play you guys a quick clip of it. But basically, this is how it is. We better wake up in this country, and understand that, we're the ones that's going to get screwed, not these people. Okay, these people's money is locked in, secure. They're good. So when they die, their caskets are already ready for them. Okay, you know what I'm saying? If they get cremated, that's already ready for them. They already have all that plan in place. They probably put that plan in place a long time ago. So we don't have that plan. Okay, we're the ones that's going to struggling with the groceries. We're the ones that's struggling, not them. Okay, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they don't have to struggle no more. Those days were long gone. So at the end of the day, like I say, we have to, as American people, do the right thing, understand that, And it shouldn't be you versus me and me versus you. It should, you know, or this race versus that race. It should be us understanding who we are, do the right thing, try to build up our community somehow, including myself, have to learn how to do that, get with the right type of people if we can, and understand the, you know, the facts about what we need to do in this life. That's the bottom line. So you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like my videos, but feel free to check out more of my YouTube channel. Type in my name. It's Russell Mills, RUSSELL MILLS, May 22nd, 2017. My first video is called Why Black People Settle for Less. Everybody take care. Have a blessed day. Peace.